Now, joining us to discuss this disturbing incident is Reverend John Joseph Ayab, CAN Vice Chairman for 19 Northern States, including FCT. He is joining us live from Kaduna State. Reverend Ayab, thanks for joining us on Galaxy Television News.
Also for having me.
Now, this is not the first time a Christian has been killed in the northern part of the country over alleged blasphemy. What is CAN doing about these sort of things?
If you ask me what is CAN doing, the most unfortunate thing about it is that the level of intolerance that religious followers and also preachers are exhibiting against people of other faith or other identity is increasingly becoming alarming, if not checked. This is not the first time, this is not the second time that people have been accused for blaspheming the prophet, and then people will then take the laws into their hands and kill someone for blaspheming the prophet. As a Christian, one of my beliefs is that God is supreme. His prophets are great. If anybody insults the prophet or insult God or blaspheme God, God has what it takes to deal with that person. I don't need to fight for God. I don't need to defend God. I don't need to kill and injure another person to show how much I love God. Unless God is handicapped, unless God is weak. But if God is God and the prophets are of God, God has a way of dealing with them. So sometimes when we start to exhibit this kind of attitude, we seem to portray God as a weak God and portray our prophets as weak prophets. So I encourage religious leaders to teach their followers to know that God is supreme and the prophets we believe to be worshiping God through their names are great. So why should we fight for them? Having said that, I also believe that government have not done enough in prosecuting those who did similar offense in the past. Because those who kill innocent Nigeria or Nigerians hiding under blasphemy accusation were never arrested. Even if they were arrested, they were never properly tried and sent to jail. So people just feel that they can abuse this and go to sleep. I think it is time for government to act and to act responsibly. I listened to the news where the president is saying investigation will be made. We don't just want an investigation that will be on the pages of newspaper and on television. We want concrete investigation and culprit bring to book.
Now, the killing of Deborah Yakubu came to many as a surprise. What will be your call to Christians in these trying times?
Yeah, it is sad for Christians. I will commiserate and sympathize with her family and then the church in Sokoto State. But I must also say this as a leader, that we also have to be careful what we say about others and about their religion, because if we don't learn to do what is right, we will give room to criminals like this to continue to perpetuate evil in the land. And let me say it as a pastor. I live in Nigeria and I understand the things going on in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country where even when you are cheated, you cannot get justice. So when you start fighting or saying certain things to certain people, understand that you may not really get the kind of justice you want, despite the calls that have been made. So you have to respect yourself by speaking kindly, by speaking respectfully of other people's identity, whether it is of tribe, whether it's of religion, or whatever identity. I want to challenge both Christians and Muslims in Nigeria. You see, the way we speak to one another about faith, about our tribes, we sometimes don't even understand what we are doing. We have to find a more respectable, a more humane, a more caring and loving way of talking to one another than just being careless with our mouth. Because as much as those boys who killed Deborah were wrong, what they did is evil, what they did is against the law. As a pastor, I should also tell Christians, whether Muslim or whoever, that also be careful what you say, especially when there's sensitivity about religion. Don't just be careless with your word.
Thank you so much, Reverend, for your time and insight.
Thank you very much.
That's Reverend John Joseph Ayab, CAN Vice Chairman, 19 Northern States, including FCT.